Welcome back to another Film Geek video. Today I am doing a rankings video of the movies I have seen so far this year, or I should say movies I have reviewed so far this year. Now last year I did this all at the end of the year. However, I was going through my movies and I am already at like 57 movies so far, and we're at the middle of the year. So I thought it would probably be a good idea to split it up. So I'm going to do the first half of the year, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to do the ranking for the final part of the year. Alright, so anyways, like these go, I'm just going to go through all of the movies. I've tried to have them in order of when I saw them in theaters. I wrote everything down. I've been logging everything this year, so I have good notes to go off of. Anyways, so I'm going to go through all of the films that I've seen starting from very beginning in January 1st on up to today. Now, I am not doing the new Indiana Jones film. That one's going into my end of the year ranking, only because I don't have time to do this ranking video after I see Indiana Jones. So sorry, Dial of Destiny, you're getting ranked later this year, but stay tuned for my review. It's going to be later this week. Anyways, alright, so enough of this yammer yammer. It is time to head over to that series of tubes that we like to call the internet and get this ranking list going. Welcome to the internet, folks. Okay, so here we are, and the way this works is I have it all divided up in these different categories, same as I did last year. Now, what we start right here with Best of the Year, All Around Good, Just Plain Fun, So That Was a Movie, and What Were They Thinking? Alright, so Best of the Year is pretty self-explanatory. The top of the notch, the best of the best. The movies I think are possibly award-winning films. I'm no expert, as I say all the time, but who knows? Maybe one of these movies I mentioned will win some big shiny statue to take home with them. Alright, then we have All Around Good. These are the movies that are good. They're really great. Maybe they're going to last for a little while. We're going to talk about them for a year, maybe 2 years, but then after that, they might kind of start to fizzle away. Yeah, that's what that one is. It's a good movie, but maybe it just doesn't capture or something. It just doesn't go on to be a classic. Then we have Just Plain Fun. I think that one also is very self-explanatory. We have So That Was a Movie. My best way to describe this is, can I fold laundry and watch this movie at the same time and not miss anything? That's what this is. You can kind of wander around, do some housework, do some vacuuming, whatever. These are the movies that either the plot's very simple or there's just a lot of bloat and boringness so you can get up and move around. Just movies that didn't quite get like a terrible score, but they didn't quite get a good score. I guess if I was giving it a grading system, movies like this would be like a C- or a D+. Now, moving into D-F, that is, What Were They Thinking? And again, pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so let's get this started, shall we? And it looks like the good old internet alphabetized everything for me. So, here, cheers to all of you. I will try to keep this short and sweet for you. Now, again, this is all just my personal opinion. None of this is based off of Metacritic, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, any of that jackassery. This is just my personal opinion on how I rank these films from the beginning of the year in January to currently right now. It's like June 20th something-ish. Let's just say, okay, let me put it this way. I'm not doing Indiana Jones. So Indiana Jones is going to be released on June 30th. So that's going to be beginning my next year rankings list. Okay, we're going to start the year off with Indiana Jones. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to get started with a very powerful drama, and that is 1001. Oh, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. This is a very intense, very well acted, very well made drama that's going right up here to Best of the Year. Now, all of these movies have been reviewed by me already once. So if you want to see something a bit more in depth, if something I mentioned might catch your interest, check out one of my reviews. They're on the channel. And I'm going to take a drink here because this is actually my second take of doing this. So I'm a little verklempt. Here we go. A Good Person. Now, I did enjoy this movie. However, I think this is one of those, I would call it a one and done movie. I'm probably not going to buy a copy of this, and there's a good possibility I will never watch this movie again. Does that mean it's bad? No, it just doesn't stick with you, alright? But it is definitely something that's worth a watch. Maybe you'll find more enjoyment out of it, and you'll be like, oh, what is he talking about? This movie is a classic. I love it. So, anywho, I'm going to put that right here in So That Was a Movie. Next up is Alice Darling, a film about toxic relationships and abusive relationship. And it's a group of friends who are trying to help another of their friends get out of a toxic, abusive relationship. This movie hit hard. I think this was, oh man, this is definitely a very emotional film. I am going to put that right up here in Best of the Year. I did enjoy that movie. It was very, very well done. Okay, that brings us to an absolute tragedy. Ant-Man, Wasp, and Quantumania, whatever, of bad CGI. All right, I'm going to put that right here in... I'm putting it right here. What were they thinking? Honestly, that needs to go right there. And I'm going to put MODOK. I have that right there because that was... God damn, that... What the hell was that? I'm not a dick. What? Disney? Man? What was that? MODOK is cool. MODOK is like one of those weird, wacky Jack Kirby inspiration creations that makes zero freaking sense. You just look at it and it's like, that is Jack Kirby, man. And you just make him a floating giant head from a previous villain that we already didn't like, who has a battle cry that's, I'm not a dick. Oh my God, man. Okay, that movie, God, I did not like that movie. All right, that brings us to Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. I thought this was a fun little family film, a good one to watch with kiddos going into middle school, junior high, what have you. So yeah, good old early teens, whatever, 5th grade up, I think is a good one for this one. It's a good film, and I know a lot of you have probably read the book. It's based off the book. It's Judy Blume approved. Check this movie out. Asteroid City. I just did a review on this one. I don't want to revisit. I'm just going to put it right here in What Were They Thinking? I am a Wes Anderson fan, but what was he thinking with this one? It's like a movie, but it doesn't... Again, check out my review. Trust me, what were they thinking? All right, Beau Was Afraid. This is kind of a divisive film. Not necessarily a horror film. People try to give it... I would say it has horror elements, but it has comedy elements. It has drama elements. It has surrealistic elements. It's a very layered film, so just trying to throw it into one category, it's not going to work. This is a personal choice, but I'm going to put it in all around good. I liked that movie. Black Demon. Ah, man. As I said in my video, it's not a terrible movie, okay? I did get enjoyment out of it, but I didn't get enjoyment in it in the right way. It's not a scary shark movie. It's not a horror movie. It's just a family drama on a sea rig, and then there's like Aztec gods that might have brought a giant shark. It's just, dudes, this is a movie you watch on April 20th. You know what I mean. All right? But it's a bad movie. Even though it's silly and goofy and I got some enjoyment out of it, it is a piece of crap. Okay, down there it goes. The Blackening. This was such a great movie. Such a funny movie. So great. And you know what? Honestly, this movie would probably go in the Best of the Year for me, but for one problem, it wasn't a complete horror comedy. There wasn't enough horror elements to make it scary. Like, it had moments where it started to get atmospheric and a little bit of dread feeling, and then it has great jokes. Let me put it that way. It really turns the slasher genre on its head. It focuses on the tropes of African Americans in slasher/horror movies. Very good stuff. But because it doesn't have enough spookiness, I'm going to put it right here in all around good. Cocaine Bear. Just saying it is fun. Cocaine Bear. It's fun. Okay, that's all this movie is. Smile time. Watch a bear on cocaine tear everyone up. What more do you want? Fun. Creed 3, dude, that was good stuff. I'm going to put that right up here in best of the year. I really enjoyed that movie. I am a big fan of Rocky, fan of the Creed series. Excellent stuff. Really enjoyed that movie. Elemental. This might surprise people. Now, I think this movie is all around good. I really do. This could be my soft spot for the romantic comedy genre because that's what this is. But I like the message of the film. I like the animation of the film. The voice acting is solid. And the more I think about the world and everything, sure, it has its problems. The element thing, it doesn't work for me. I feel, the more I think about this movie, the more I look at the film Zootopia. Like, the city Zootopia made sense. It catered to all of the different species of animals and such and so on. But this film, it doesn't sell it well enough. It doesn't sell the concept of the elements as living, breathing creatures. But the story, the heart of this film, it's very Pixar. I really enjoyed it. I say it's an all-around good movie. That brings us to Evil Dead Rise. And as we are going to know, we're going to rise that up to the top. That's some good stuff, baby. You like some ultra violence? You got it. You like some silly camp? You got it. You want legitimate scares? You got it. You want spooky atmosphere? You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Evil Dead Rise. This is how you continue a series without making it dry and old. God dang, man, that movie was good. All right. Fast X. Now, that movie is just fun. That is just plain fun. Fast X. That's a Fast and the Furious movies, man. There's no depth to it. There's no artistic... I hate to say artistic value because all film is art. But let's face it, this movie is a corporate grab bag of money is all this thing is. People are going to go see it. They want to see the special effects. They want to see the stupid over-the-top action. They want to see Vin Diesel yelling, "Family!" while he drives a Charger. It's Fast X, man. It's fun. Moving on. Fear. Ah, damn, that movie sucked. Watch my review. I don't even want to talk about this movie. This is a good example of just a bad movie. No merit, no nothing. There is a good concept here. There is the elements of a good movie here. There are things that could be expanded on to make this a solid, legitimate horror film. The movie just doesn't do it. Not a good movie. Okay, moving on. Flaming Hot. You know, I did like this movie. This is really good. I don't give a crap about the he said, whoever said crap where it's like, that man didn't invent the spicy Cheeto or the Flaming Hot Cheeto. This group of scientists and it's a fun movie. It has nothing to do with anything else. The movie is fun. It's enjoyable. It's inspirational. And you know what I have to say to namesayers? This man came to the United States from Mexico without a high school education, and he became a highly paid executive at Frito-Lay. Dude did something. All right. All around good. All around good. Enjoyed the movie. Fun movie. The more I think about it, the more it makes me just feel good inside, man. Because, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, I get it. I am no spring chicken, all right? But I'm trying something different. I'm doing something new. And that's what this dude did. He saw something he wanted to try and do different in his life. And he did it. He achieved it. And I like that story. It resonates with me. All around good. That brings me to The Flash. I'm saddened by what's happening with The Flash. I did think this movie was good enough for just plain fun. All right. I think it is a fun romp. I think it handles nostalgia very well. I like the addition of Matt. I don't think, if this movie did not have Michael Keaton Batman in it, I don't think I would like it as much. I really believe that. But all in all, the movie was fun. And it's sad that it's getting such a bad ride in theaters. At the time of filming this, it is not doing very well in theaters right now. It's in its second week. It's not doing good, man. It looks like it's going to lose Warner a lot of money. And that's sad because at the end of the day, it's not a terrible film. And I think that superhero fatigue is not necessarily real. What I think is happening is that it's become a genre, like horror, okay? Horror has gotten to a point where only horror fans go see it. Yeah, it's sometimes around Halloween, you get some other folks speckled in there. But believe me, as someone who goes and sees a lot of movies, you see a lot of the same faces. And when you go see horror movies, again, see a lot of the same faces. You're getting there with superhero movies, okay? It's its genre. People go because they like superhero movies. We're losing the average moviegoer. The average moviegoer, they're kind of like, nah, I don't need all this stuff, man. That Thanos thing was cool, but now this mania, SpiderVerse, quantum physics, I don't know, man. They're not pulling in the average viewer. And I think that's what's happening there. And with The Flash, we know, as people who are into comic book movies and superhero movies, we know that the DC universe is getting rebooted. So none of these movies matter in the grand scheme of things. And the whole thing with these superhero movies is they build on each other to a large grand story. Who's going to turn up for DC movies if it's all going to get rebooted by James Gunn in a matter of years? Like, we're all going to, well, maybe, but a good chance, amount of us are still going to be around, and James Gunn's just going to change it all. So what difference does it make? So no one cares, and that's sad because there's 2 more movies from DC coming out, and I got a bad feeling about them, man. And one of them's Blue Beetle, and it looks nice. It looks like it could be a good time, but I think that movie's going to bomb, man, because people just don't care right now with the DC stuff. And Aquaman 2, same thing. People just don't care, man. They're not pulling in. And I don't want to see that happen because I don't know. It looks like it's going to be good. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. But that's my take on superhero movies right now, because if it's one thing everybody needs in this world is the opinion of a middle-aged man about superhero movies on goddamn YouTube, because Lord knows we don't get enough of that shit. Okay. Moving on. Sorry. Sometimes I crack my shit up. All right. Geez. Talk about movies that I really enjoyed, but I don't think a lot of people did. Fool's Paradise. I'm going to put that in just plain fun, man. This is one of those comedies I give myself, I told earlier in one of my other reviews, I'm a little easy on comedies, and I just must have a very simple sense of humor. I liked this movie. It was very Charlie Chaplin-esque. I like Charlie Chaplin. It resonated with me. I think if you're not into like old school comedy, maybe that was the issue here. Or maybe the critics were right about this movie. Maybe it was god-awful, but I enjoyed it. Fool's Paradise, just plain fun. It's probably streaming. It's just going to cost you time. Check it out. That brings me to Big George Foreman and stuff. All right. This is a tough one. I am going to put this in So That Was a Movie. Because I'm sorry, it was a good movie. I thought it did a great job of telling the story of George Foreman. However, it's a typical biopic-esque movie. It's not hard to follow. You can easily, like I've said before, fold laundry. Get up and, heat up some food in the microwave, make a sandwich, and come back, and you're probably not going to miss a whole lot. So, yeah, it was enjoyable, and I do think you should check the movie out because it's an interesting life, and you should check it out, really. It is. All right, that brings us to the movie I just reviewed here recently, and that is God is a Bullet. I wish the movie was shorter. Watch my review. You'll understand what I mean by that. But it's going right here, and So That Was a Movie. All right. Now, we talked about a couple of superhero movies that didn't quite get it right. Our comic book movies. Let me reiterate. Comic book movies. This one, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, amazing. Absolutely amazing film. And let me tell you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and put it up here. Boink. Let me tell you guys, this movie, it was so much fun. going and seeing it the way I did, where I got to see all the movies in a row and cap it off with the last movie, so amazing. When you get the opportunity to get to watch all 3 movies in a row, do it. It brings so much more to that final film. It's great. I mean, this movie made me legit cry. For a cartoon raccoon, a CGI raccoon, it wasn't there, and I got freaking ugly tears because Rocket was not doing so good, man, and I'm not okay with that. Moving on, I'm already feeling it. I'm feeling it, man. Okay. That brings me to Mad Heidi. You know what, dude? I'm going to put that right up here in Best of the Year, because, you know, that is a love letter to the grindhouse genre. This was a small budget, self-made film. They did a Kickstarter for this movie, and it turned out great. Mad Heidi. It is on Amazon Prime for rent, to the best of my knowledge. Check it out. Fun, fun, fun. House Party. Do I need to say much more about that? The reboot, no one knew the hell they were doing and no one gave a shit about. This movie did have the ability to be fun and good, and it just went, I don't want to fucking be any of that. So there you go. It's right there at the bottom. Hypnotize. I am going to put that one in, so that was a movie. Mostly because the concept of this was really cool. That's the one where people have the ability to kind of like hypnotize people at will. I dug it. I liked the concept, but the movie itself is garbage. So maybe a reboot in the future for this one, okay? That brings us to Infinity Pool. Oh boy, that's my kind of horror, man. Crazy ass body horror that's just freaking creepy as all hell. Best of the Year, baby, right up there. All right, Jesus Revolution. Now, I did not find out, as I've said before, I am not a big religious person, but again, I don't hold it against nobody. You can do whatever you want to, man. That is your business. You believe whatever you want to believe. Rock on with your bad self. Let your freak flag fly, blah, blah, blah. Don't care, man. Don't care. But this movie was all right. It really was. The more I think about it, it wasn't half bad. And I do believe that to the people who really understood the movie more, it meant a lot more to them. For myself, I'm going to put it in just plain fun, because I did get enjoyment out of the movie, but I don't, in my opinion, consider it like super top notch. But I did enjoy it. It was not a terrible movie, regardless what people say. John Wick Chapter 4, need not say more, very top. Kandahar. Kandahar. Alright, I am going to put Kandahar in just plain fun. That does not mean this movie is fun. It means it falls in the C plus B kind of range, okay? This movie isn't god-awful. There's very good elements here. There is a good movie here. You kind of have to dig through a little bit of BS to get to the good movie, but not a whole lot. This film is a solid one to stream. I don't know if it's out yet. Keep your eyes open for it. Gerard Butler. It's not god-awful, but do not believe this is an action film by any means. It's more of like a political espionage kind of thing. CIA thriller. Not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Moving on. A Knock at the Cabin. Right up there. Now, people say, oh, it's M. Night Shyamalan back to form. Not really. This movie plays it straight, man. There's no switcheroo. There's no switch. What is it? There's no twist. There's no twist in this movie. It plays it straight, and I like that. It is straightforward, to the point, and it's like, no, dude, no twist. I respect that. I think it's good for him to move out of his element, try some new things, and see where it goes. I hope to see something out of him here soon. I want to see where he goes more in the horror film. So yes, A Knock at the Cabin, very good, solid. This is an own it, check it out, watch it kind of movie. Really dug this movie. Megan. Oh, Megan. Blink. I really liked Megan. Megan has such a fun Halloween vibe to it. Just the right amount of cheese, just the right amount of camp, everything that you want from a silly little PG-13 slasher, you get it. Now, I do know there's an unrated version out there, and I probably expect the next film to be an R-rated movie, but maybe not. Maybe they'll keep it to PG-13. But Megan is a solid slasher, especially for our younger horror fans out there that might not be able to get their hands on the really grindy stuff yet. Grimy stuff. All right, that brings us to Mafia Mama. Boy, oh boy. All right, you know what? I'm just going to put that. This was goofy. I'm going to put it in just plain fun. This is not a masterpiece. It's not a great movie, but there's some solid laughs to be had. This is a silly, put it on when you got nothing better to do movie. Toni Collette's good in it, at least. All right, that brings us to Magic Mike's Last Dance. Poor Magic Mike's not gonna dance no more. All right, Magic Mike, Last Dance. So that was a movie. This was quite possibly the least sexy movie about a stripper I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm pretty sure anything could have been sexier than this movie. I mean, my God, it was so tame. Like, I don't even know how it was R. I bet anything this movie was sent off to, like the what is it, the rating system or whatever, and it came back PG-13 and they threw in some F-bombs just to get it there, because that's the only way this movie got an R rating. And it doesn't, I guess it doesn't need an R rating, but it's still, like, it's about strippers. I mean, come on, man. It was so tame. I'm like sitting here being like, I want to see his junk. No, it's not what I'm getting at by any means. I'm just saying it was barely an R rating. And it was okay at best. The Mario movie. I might make some people mad with this one, and I'm sorry for that, but I am just going to put that in good old-fashioned, just plain fun. I did like it. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a solid, fun family film. And Lord knows there is not enough fun family films out there. Most of them suck balls because the movies focus more on the kids and not enough on the parents. But this film has it for everybody. It's got enough stuff to make the kids happy. It's got enough stuff to make mom and dad happy. It is a solid family film, and it's just fun. All right? Plain fun. That brings me to Missing. Gosh, I like this movie. But I don't think it's next level. I think that it goes right here in just all around good. And, you know, a good solid A. Not an A+, but still, a very enjoyable film if you like horror thrillers, whatever. This is a good one. It's got a unique vibe to it. It is technically a sequel, but you don't necessarily have to see the original to get it. It's a very solid film. Check out Missing. Moving on. No, seriously, that's the name of the movie. Moving on. Jane Fonda, Lily Thompson. How can you get better than that? How can you get better than that? Richard Roundtree, Malcolm McDowell. This film is so good. So much legendary acting in this film. I am going to put it up here in the best of the... Ooh, where'd it go? Best of the year. There we go. And check that one out. I'm sure it's on streaming. Moving on. Very good little thing. Look up my review if you want to get more in depth. Here's a film that's currently now in theaters at the time of filming this, and that is, oh gosh, No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. I really enjoy this one. Solid little comedy. Some good heart to it. Not as raunchy as I thought. Pretty good stuff. Jennifer Lawrence, very surprising comedic performance. Solid all around good. Operation. Oh God, this movie. Yes. I'm gonna put that in. It's sadly gonna go right there. Operation Fortune and some French stuff. I sadly cannot speak French, and I don't want to get it wrong. Operation Fortune. This was a Guy Ritchie movie, but it didn't have all the cool, fun dialogue or the wit, the humor. It tries to be a fun Guy Ritchie movie, but it's like someone trying to make a Guy Ritchie movie instead of it actually being a Guy Ritchie movie. But I mean, it's enjoyable to give it a watch, But the more I think about this movie, the more I'm saying it's probably more of a stream. I can't remember what I said in my review, so I'm probably eating crow right now. Probably being a hypocrite. I'm sure in the review I said something completely different. But as of right now, it's going to be So It Was a Movie. For something that should be a complicated, hard to follow plot, it's not. So yes, you could totally fold laundry, go do the dishes, answer the phone, all that good stuff, and not lose your place whatsoever in that movie. A Man Called Otto. That was just a heartwarming, fun story. I am going to put that in all around good, just a solid film. The Outwaters. All right. With this one, I want to remind everybody, this is my personal opinion. I did not like this movie, but I respect what the filmmakers was trying to achieve with this movie. In my opinion, they did not achieve what they were trying to do, which was like an all senses horror. Because of the limited amount of visual you get in this movie, how could it possibly be a full-on invasion of my senses if all I can do is hear things? Okay? That's all I gotta say. Now, I'm sure this film has its fans. People, I'm sure, like it. I am not one of them. So, I am not going to put it in what were they thinking. I'm going to put it in So That Was a Movie. I think that's fair. Okay, guys? I respect what the filmmaker was trying to do. I just didn't like it. Paint. Oh. Owen Wilson, quirky comedy. And this looked like a perfect Owen Wilson quirky comedy. And it has its moments of greatness. However, So It Was a Movie. I'm sorry. But it was still fun. Check out my review on that one. It does have its laughs. It does have its audience. I particularly thought it was hilarious. But as I've said before, apparently, I have a very easygoing sense of humor. That brings us to Plane. Plane was such a surprise. In fact, the month of January was such a surprise this year. Thank goodness for that. Normally, January is a dumping ground for Hollywood movies they don't know what to do with. But this year, it was like an experimenting ground. They were trying different things to see how they would do. And one of them was Plane, the mid-level action adventure. It is so 90s action, it's not even funny, and Gerard Butler is excellent. This is a must-see. I'm going to put it right here in all around good. The more I look back on that film, the more I like it. Polite Society. A Tale of Two Sisters. It's fantastic. Check it out. So much fun. Next level stuff with that film. Best of the year type of film. Loved it. Polite Society. Watch my review if you want more in depth. I'm going to stop saying that from this point on. Okay. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I'm going to put that in just plain fun. I got a lot of fun out of that film. I thought it was goofy, silliness. I see what they were going for. They want to see how they can push this and take it to the next level, and I respect that. I thought this was a good proto idea for what they're going to do. Just for God's sakes, make Winnie the Pooh look better, please, and you'll have a good movie on your hands. Renfield. Oh man, this movie was so much fun. Right there. All around. Just plain fun. Popcorn, horror comedy at its finest. What do we got here? Sword Art Online. I forgot about that one. Okay. I'm going to put that in just plain fun. Not that I forgot. I'm looking at little bitty tiny tiles and I couldn't recognize it. Pardon me. Sword Art Online, a fun reimagining of, I believe, the first season of Sword Art Online. The anime series is an animated film. It is a sequel. I'm not going to go through the entire title for it because I can't remember it. But still, Sword Art Online, movie, fun, enjoyable. I liked it. Putting it right there. Okay, that brings us to Scream 6. And guys, I love where these Scream movies are going. I was talking to my friend, you guys might know her from 3B Video. What's up, Pam? And we were both in agreement. We both agree in agreements there. Let's just say it that way. We would like to see a couple more of these, but then be done with it. Give it a rest, okay? Not that these movies are bad, but the Scream series is on a good track. Do a couple more, and then take a break. I mean, Ghostface can be anybody. Give it a few years, come back to the property, but yes, couple more, give it a break, but still, next level stuff. Love where they're headed with this series. Like what they're doing with the sidequel, I think that's what they called it, or whatever. The retcon films. I like it. Good stuff. This is a sad one for me, guys. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and I am going to put that in I'm going to put it in fun. And the reason I'm putting it in fun is I feel like that was a fun family film. And it's one of those movies, mom and dad, they're not going to be too awful unentertained. And the kids are going to like the silly jokes. I don't think kids past 10 years old are going to give a crap about this. You got some younger ones, they're going to like it. But all in all, it's not even close to as good as the first one. But still, a little fun. Shotgun Wedding, I'm going to also put that one in just plain fun. That's a Hulu movie. I enjoyed it. Got some good laughs out of it. Charming Amy, she enjoyed it. We both watched it, liked it, got some laughs. Fun stuff. Yeah, that's it. Fun, good, all-around comedy. Check it out on Hulu. All it's going to do is cost you time. Sisu. That's going up here. Best of the year, baby. If you like grimy, dirty, filthy, violent, action films with a very high Nazi death rate, Sisu is for you. All I'm going to say, excellent film. SpiderVerse, baby, right up here, boink. I'm telling you guys, Miles Morales, he is the dog right now. He is the top dog right now. Kids dig him. And I know this firsthand because I am currently working at a Spider-Man exhibit. Our museum is putting on a Spider-Man exhibit, and all day long from kids I hear, what do you have, Miles Morales? He's the popular guy, and you know what? It's because these movies are so freaking good. I'm not saying that the MCU and the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield movies aren't good. I like those a lot too, but I really like what they've done with the character Miles. Excellent reinventing of the character, giving it a fresh coat of paint. Miles Morales, okay with me. Really looking forward to this movie next year, the third film. I'm hoping this is the wrap-up. I like a good trilogy. I don't know why. I like a nice 3. And I'm hoping this is it, and we have a nice wrap-up. Good stuff. Moving on. All right, that brings us to Spinning Gold. Boy, oh boy. So that was a movie. Yes. So that was a movie. I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily like it. It was one of those trying to be Rocket Man-esque musicals where, you know, the movie itself is told through the music as a story, but it doesn't really quite get there. It's about the first, or maybe not the first, but one of the most well-known independent record labels called Casablanca Records. They had artists such as Donna Summer, Kiss, and Parliament, just to name a few of them. And I mean, it could have been a really great movie, but unfortunately, it just fell flat for me. But all in all, it was still something that I'm not saying don't watch, but don't expect a lot. That brings us to D&D. Love this movie. The Dungeons & Dragons, the new one, man, that was fun. I'm going to put that right here and just plain good. I think that it's a good jumping point for more. And the next movie, I think they are just going to just knock our socks off. And yes, I'm sure there's going to be another movie. The Boogeyman. Ooh, this was a fun horror film and PG-13. I like it. Our younger horror fans out there can see this one in theaters. And as I say, horror, it's got to be experienced in theaters, man. With everybody around you and the tension that you can feel. You can cut it like a knife, man. I love that stuff in theaters. No better way to see horror. So it's always nice to see a good one for the younger guys, you know? So The Boogeyman, I am putting that up in best of the year. Totally enjoyed that movie. A lot of you may disagree with me on that one, but I'm looking at it a little bit differently than most of you. I'm looking at it as a person who loves horror and would like to be able to introduce it to younger people, but not necessarily upset the parents. You see what I'm saying? Good stuff. Like my nieces. I have nieces that are right in the age group for this movie. I suggested it to them. My sisters took them to go see the movie. They loved it. So yeah, The Boogeyman, I think, will become a classic for a lot of younger kids. The Pope's Exorcist. I was not expecting to like this movie as much as I did. I'm going to put it right there in just plain fun. It is a good exorcism movie, and you don't hear that very often. Transformers Rise of the Beast, going right there in just plain fun. I think that it definitely wasn't as good as Bumblebee, but I like where they're headed. Let's keep it going, but in the next movie, let's focus more on the Beast characters. I want to learn more about them. What's love got to do with it? This is a cute little, I almost said horror comedy. This is a cute little romantic comedy. And it's a little bit different because of cultural differences. It's about a Pakistani man who's kind of gotten tired of dating. And so he's decided to go into what's known as like it's not an arranged marriage. It's more of like a suggested, a helping hand. Kind of leads you in the right direction. You hire someone to help you out, find the right person for you. Bada bing, bada boom, married. I liked it. It's a good little story, heartwarming, gets you in the heart, gets you the feels, all that good stuff that you expect from a romantic comedy. And it's a different culture, so it's kind of, I find that interesting all the time. I am going to put that here in all around good. Yep, right up here, all around good. I like that one. This brings us to our last movie. Now, The Wrath of Becky. Man, I like this, and now I can say franchise. Check out the first movie, but also check out The Wrath of Becky. I am putting that up here. I'm going to put it in all around good because I like the original more as a standalone film, but this one is still good. It has a little less action, a little less kills, and so on and so forth, but it makes up for it in world building and character development. All right, guys, well, there we go. The first part of the year is done and ranked and ready to go. So you know what? That's it. It's been a great year at the movies. Not even year, half year in the movies. I've seen some really good stuff. I've seen some really awesome independent films. I've seen some mind-blowing, giant CGI, bombastic films. It's been fun so far, and I'm looking forward to where I'm headed for the rest of the year. So you know what, guys? Stick with me for where we're headed. Alright, well that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out The Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.